Hey everyone, it is Ellen from Advocate of Soul, and I am just so glad to have just with me the 21st century Oracle, as she is called. And there's just real light with her and real just beauty with her. And it's just so good to have you, Phoenix, back in this
Hi.
space, just being able to share your heart and to share your journey and to share whatever you want. So the platform is yours. So share what you would like. There it is.
Hi, Ellen. Hi,
Hello.
Ellen. Hi, everyone. I've got my special microphone here and this one here, so the sound should be good. Hi, it's lovely to meet you all. Hello, everybody.
Hmm.
Hi, you all right, Ellen?
Yeah, I am. Yes, I
Good,
am. So tell
good.
us just a little bit about what it is that you do and what you bring to the planet, because we're in that time, aren't we, where we're discovering our gifts and
Yeah,
discovering who we are.
thank you.
Mhm.
So, hello. So, I started as a yoga teacher, I suppose we could say more recently in life. And I realized there was this thing um, that was acknowledged as a rainbow bridge between in ancient Sanskrit between the human and the divine. And I found this really intriguing, like the bridge between the human divine.
Mm.
And what is that? And why don't we really have any concept of that in our society? And what would be the benefits of that?
Yeah,
Like if we knew ourselves as more than human and also more human. More
right.
human. So yeah, maybe if I just start there, that sense of the rainbow bridge. I feel like I am one of the people that is a rainbow bridge. So I'm a channel, which
Mhm.
means I connect between the divine spirit and guides and the human realm for my clients so that they can expand their light, their joy, and allow their human experiences, learn from it,
Mhm.
and open to more possibility with the divine guidance from the divine guides. So yeah, what do I do? It's very rainbow. It's very magical. It's very magical. It's about understanding yourself as a channel for your soul, a channel for your unique essence, but allowing your humanness in that. So allowing your story, your pain, your illness, your whatever you've got going on, your relationships, your challenges as medicine for your soul and opening to more light, more frequency, more expansion within that body soul template.
So
So,
would you say that everybody channels? Can everybody channel?
yeah, I feel like that's what we're being called to at the moment is that everyone becomes a channel for their sovereign soul. Yeah, that you are innately, every human being, a channel. So you're either channeling the radio station that is your wounding night and day,
Hmm.
and unaware that you can, move the volume dial, that you can turn it up loud, that you can turn it down quiet, that you can release some sound, that, or you are, yeah, becoming distinctly aware that, oh, I can switch channels. I can become love. I can become compassion. I can free these emotions. I can become, yeah, more divinely aligned. And what does that mean? That means you're no longer in resistance to your human
Mm.
experience. So you're allowing it without judgment. And as you do that, you become a channel for your, essentially, you could say higher soul, but your wisdom one, the one in you that guides you and therefore others. But when you're in contraction or, years of anguish or years of anger or years of lack or years of, stress and strain, um, you're not in your sovereignty. You're not a clear channel for who you truly are. You are being invited to become a clear channel by listening to that which is happening within you
Mm.
And as you do that, that is the divine alignment between heaven and earth. I like to visualize a crystalline core at the center of the earth and a light above you in the sky and the heaven, like the sun. You know, you are a conduit between the two. You are naturally a channel. You are channeling something, and you have the power to decide and discern what it is that you're channeling. So if you understand, oh my goodness, I've been in fear for 20 years,
Mm.
that's
Mm.
because something's going on, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
both inside you and in the collective, but it's up to you to learn to transform and transmute that experience into, okay, well, how can I change the channel on this? How can I become
Yeah.
who I truly am? And that channeling is, it's not that you're channeling outside of you, it's that you're becoming all of you. That's the channel. You become all of you.
Mm. Mm. And so
Yeah.
what does that look like? What's that look like for someone?
Mm. So what it looks like is, so one of my clients, for example, works really hard in a job. It's in the mainstream. It's in let's just call it a teaching nursing profession. They're raising their children. They're a good wife. You know, there's all these things they have to do
Mm.
to live a good life. But the soul is calling them to something deeper, so they don't feel fulfilled. They feel out of alignment, their energy, their
Mm.
hormones are out of
Mm.
balance. And so they're being called, that's the way I would understand it. They're being called to open to what is happening for them in the human experience. And then bringing, I know we've talked about this before, Ellen, but the you bring the masculine and the feminine together. So you're learning, okay, I'm going to use my divine masculine, transcend this, and my divine feminine, allow this, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Creating space and then learning to listen as a clear channel for your soul. And in doing, for example, that client realized, oh my goodness, the only reason I'm in that job and the only reason I'm with this person is because of beliefs and energies and emotions in me that, you know, she wasn't tapping into who she truly was. And she was getting heavier and heavier and heavier and heavier. So by tuning in to those fields and learning to free them up and understand, you can become higher and clearer in yourself about who you are and allow yourself to feel safer in who you are. So she made a big shift towards her own business and her own entrepreneurial work and did big healing in the relationship. That's what they did. But it's that freeing up and finding more of your truth and feeling more of a peace in who you are. And a byproduct of that is some people, yeah, I mean, they heal health conditions, they manifest incredible amounts of money from nowhere, like because they're now aligning with who they truly are in alignment with the source. The source, yeah.
So is manifesting easy? Is there an ease and flow to this, or is it kind of bumpy?
I think it depends what you do. Yeah, I think everyone's different. I've certainly tried all sorts with that. But
Me
I,
too.
yeah. What I've learned from my divine guides is that we're not getting what we want. We're
Mm.
getting what we are. You're getting
Mm-hmm.
what you are in the world. And so it's understanding that as well when you allow responsibility with creation. Like, what is it in you that is allowing this reality? And it is absolutely certain that the new earth isn't outside of you. It's in it's inside. And then the more you clear, the more you become word. It's the heart is the temple. So the more you allow the heart instead of the mind as your frequency distributor,
Mm-hmm.
that new earth can reflect back to you that you are now in a clearer dimension, in a clearer space of the body on the earth, but with your soul and spirit. And when you're not, what's manifesting is it's the head.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes.
I want this, I don't want that, and why is this happening? And I want more of
Yes.
this, our ego or whatever you want to call it, the mind. And but the more we're tapping into the heart space, the more that is synchronizing with like the Heart Math
Mm-hmm.
Institute. I'm sure you know them,
Mm-hmm.
have
Mm-hmm.
demonstrated with their science, their maths, the electromagnetic field of the heart is felt like 30 feet through a steel wall. 30 feet through a steel wall. It
Yes.
it has an enormous power.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming into that and allowing, I think with manifestation, it's like you're still going through things as a human being. You're still,
Mm-hmm.
there are certain joys and there's certain tragedies in this life, but the more you're coming into that infinite presence in your heart and soul, the easier it is to navigate all of those things without so much drama
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and more natural ability to manifest. One of my clients, yeah, two of my clients now, yeah, they manifest over £1 million doing nothing, doing less,
Mm.
doing so much less and slowing right down. And the structures they had in place started like the way I saw it was like a barren ground that had plateaued suddenly started shooting up with new flowers and new blooms because they just stopped.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah,
No,
that's
no, that totally makes sense. Now you mentioned early in about guides, that guides come and they help you as well. Does everybody have guides that they can lean on?
yeah, absolutely. I would understand it that you're born with a guide,
Okay.
maybe more than one, like you arrive here with a guide and you connect with that. You can understand it as an individual guide, or you can just tap in as my higher guidance. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
They don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
But you have a being at least that has known you infinitely because your soul is infinite. And I have met that in experience. I'm not saying that logically, that is my understanding of the universe. You, yeah, so you can tap in, you can ask them
Mm-hmm.
questions, you can
Yes.
receive guidance and say, show me the way, because they can see more omnipotently than you, like a bird,
Yes. Yes.
a big bird.
Yes.
And you knew that when you came, when you incarnated, you knew, like, oh, I would have a friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a challenging planet to be on when we're in resistance to it or out of our power. Yeah.
So would you say that guides in general um, are always looking forward to the better day, meaning that they always know that joy and peace and love are the frequencies of power. And so are they always trying to lead you into more love and joy and peace and gratitude, the things that you speak highly about?
Yeah, that's who they are. So some of them, it's a good question. So some of them have lived here before and some of
Hmm.
them have not. So I would say in the readings with my clients, I see there are different types of guides. Some of them are earth guides. So maybe they've lived as indigenous elders, real wisdom keepers, peacekeepers, sacred land keepers, understanding of the human spirals of life and birth and death. They have a very different understanding of your human journey, and they're not going to not, they want you to go through the human initiations. So you are here for that. You're not
Hmm.
actually here to be an angel. because you're not an angel.
Right.
You're in training.
Yes. Yes.
But you might be a million years away from being an angel, without hierarchying it, but
Yeah.
there's layers of reality. So you're not here for that, but you are here to open to more love within the human being. Whereas your
Mm,
soul is pure light. So when you
mm,
leave this body, as I did once in surgery, you see that. It's like, oh my goodness, that's not me. That body wasn't me. So you're
mm,
here to remember you are that love, and your divine guides will support you to that love. In that way, I think that may have been what religion was on about, as in you're made in the image of God. I think what it meant was you're like a little Lego version of
mhm,
a little
mm,
animated version of that presence. But you're human, right? You're like a little
mhm,
animal on the earth plane. And so to connect to the divine guides that you have, some of them, they want to guide you. Where is the love here? Where is the healing here? Where is the potential here? And other guides, they might be the higher guides, and then other guides would be more, you need to look at yourself here. It's a
mm,
more
mhm, mhm.
earthy, what is this about you? So they're still guiding you to love, but they're
Sure.
very matter of fact.
Yes, yes. I've had that experience before. I've had both. And it's always been an interesting experience.
Yeah.
You
What
know,
did you
what,
experience?
because I was looking at purpose and it was because, there's always this thing with purpose in me. So I was like, okay, what is, what am I here for? What am I to do? And this was like years ago.
Yeah.
And it's funny because the way the one guide was speaking, highlighted my ego for that. So it was like they were like, you're to be XYZ on the planet, and it was this big thing, right? It was like this massive thing. And but what they were doing was they were bringing me right back to the next guide who then came in and talked about my ego. Because what happened was I pulled on the words that they gave that appealed to my ego,
Yeah.
appealed to what would make me somebody or something.
Somebody.
And I pulled that in, and it was a really bumpy ride because my ego was in it. And the whole time there was this guide over here, ding, 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 ding. Ellen, this is your ego, and this is not how it's to be outworked. And you're outworking it in your ego. So the ego made me look like I would be some like massive celebrity, famous person, it was just like taking the world by storm. But that was not where we were supposed to be going. But because of where I was at in my life, the guides were just wonderfully pointing me towards me, which was my ego, but
That's
also at the same time pointing me towards an extraordinary purpose, because I think we all are extraordinary beings with extraordinary purposes. There's everybody's life breath here is extraordinary. Everyone, it doesn't matter if you're here for a minute, if you're here for, 90 years, your breath, your life, who you are is extraordinary. So
yeah.
they were trying to bridge this language. It went on for quite a little bit because I lacked such confidence in myself and self-love and didn't know who I was. Extraordinary became a pride, pompous moment versus it
Yeah.
being, who you are at a soul level, Ellen, is just extraordinary. But so is everyone else.
Oh, yeah, I love that.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
And there's something really beautiful, isn't there, in the maybe if someone chases something from their ego, then they are going to get that reflected back to them when they reach that destination. But you can live a really small life as a waitress and have just as much ego and just as much calamity in your life.
Sure.
They can be
Yes.
just as egoic. It doesn't matter where you are.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
sometimes the calling for greatness is needed, to drive you
Hmm.
forwards.
Hmm.
But yeah, identifying, I think that's why so many celebrities crash and burn is because
It's not
the little,
sustainable.
no,
Yeah,
can't
it's not
cope.
sustainable, is it? No, you
Mm,
can't live like that. You can't live because it's almost kind of like when you get to that supposed great place, you have to maintain it.
yeah.
How do you maintain it? And if it's maintained through lots of, hey, you're great and little bit, but then you get there and that's not happening. It's crazy what can happen because we can't live like that. We just
Yeah.
can't.
Oprah
We're
said
not to be
that,
doing
didn't
that.
she? She said, you don't get more, even though most people were nice to her. She said she didn't feel she had more. She felt she had the volume had gone up on her own wounding, which is
That's like,
reflected
wow.
back to her everywhere. Yeah. It
Yes.
was about her weight, wasn't it? And her
Yeah.
dad
Hmm.
and her upbringing and her race. And in one way, that was the beautiful story she was telling. In another way, it was used against her. And
Hmm.
always her weight, that
Hmm.
which must be very hard if you have a weight dilemma and then you've got billions of people,
Yes.
yeah, reflecting
Hmm.
negatively on that. Must be very
It's an
painful.
interesting journey, isn't it? And so you said at the beginning that you, because I know we have only a few more minutes, but you said at the beginning that you kind of bridge it. You act as a rainbow bridge to really bridge this experience, all the experiences, really. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, so as a channel, I'm both listening to the divine guides and their version of reality and
Hmm.
how it can support us, you, all of us, and also honoring the human vulnerability and how can we become in relationship with our infinite souls as sovereign beings and do that in a way that restores who we are. Because who we are, that's what's coming back. Whatever goes on
Yes.
in the world, we're coming back. Nothing's going to stop that. That's what's
No.
happening.
Yeah. Yeah, but we're remembering. Is that fair to say? We're starting to remember
Yeah,
who we are. It's like, oh
remembering who we are.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Hello.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it's
it's a,
interesting when
go
all
ahead.
the curtain twitching and the social media trolling and all the strange things. Like one day we'll be neighbors again. We'll be, we'll need each other again. We'll see each other again. Oh, hello. You know, it's that simple. Like, oh, I am you, you are me. Hello. Yeah. It's just
Hmm.
that at the
Hmm.
moment it's in that
Hmm.
divide
It's
still.
interesting to learn the trick of living autonomous, having your own sovereignty, but at the same time, we're all still connected. So I
Yeah.
feel like that for me is my journey personally on the earth is to learn how to walk out my sovereignty, be
Yeah.
autonomous, be my own decision making, do all of that. But you know what? You're also me too. We're connected here.
Yeah, we're connected here. And if you tap into your guidance every day, sorry, I'm aware of the time. If you tap into that inner divine guidance every day, you have the sense of connecting to that divine field of guidance and connection, and then coming back to your sovereignty. Like, right, I have to walk through time, I have to be a human being walking through the day, but to come back and tap in and feel it. And when you know that love in yourself, you can respect it in others. But currently, people yeah, just remembering. We're
Yeah,
remembering.
we're remembering. And so people like you, where can you be found so people can reach out to you? Because I love what you bring. And I know this was a little short taste of just your wisdom and your integrity. There's integrity with you and there's a real lightness to you. Now I just think people can really benefit from the way that you help bridge them to themselves, because that's what you do.
Yeah, that's it. That's the bridge. Thank you.
Hmm.
Yeah, so my website, I've got a free meditation on there, 21stcenturyoracle.com. If your listeners want to connect with their own guidance, there's a lovely 30-minute free meditation. I'm also on Facebook, it's Phoenix Popiolek, Instagram, YouTube, and I have a free Facebook group. Every Tuesday at 2 p.m., I do a live channeling and activation for the group. Yeah, so they're so welcome to come along.
Thank you. Thank you for being here, Phoenix. This has just been delightful. I do love your light. I'm looking behind you and you have the same plant that I have. And it's one that really speaks to me, that
Which
plant.
which one?
The one, it's right next to the lamp. I don't know even know what it's called.
The pink
It's,
one. Oh no, the
no,
yucca.
the green one. Yeah,
That
I don't
yucca
even,
one. It's lovely, isn't it?
yeah. So anyway, I just wanted you to know when I saw that, I thought, oh yeah, I communicate with mine every day and it sits in the living room. So anyway,
Oh, you communicate with your plant. That's lovely.
I love plants. I'm a total like earth nerd, but yeah, I love it.
Lovely. Oh, thanks for talking to me, Ellen. It was
Yeah,
lovely.
thank you for
All
being here.
right. Bye
Sure
bye.
thing. Bye-bye.
Bye.